What's up, nerds? So, I wanted to bring this story to you because I found it very interesting in so many different ways. So, it looks like Jason Statham, which let me just say right now, I have nothing against Jason Statham. I actually do like him. I think he's very good looking, but he's good in these action movies that he does, and he just had that Beehive movie or Beekeeper movie. And let me just tell you right now. I thought it looked cool, but I didn't have time to go see it. But it is doing so good in the global box office. Like people in Europe and like not in America just love Jason Statham. I'll tell you right now. I mean, domestically here in the States, it's not doing like it's doing okay, but from the last time I checked. But I'll tell you right now. People on the other side of the world, they just love Jason Statham, and I'm like, good for you. Okay, so I want to bring you this story, and it's from Deadline. You guys know Deadline's my favorite and everything, and I wanted to bring it to you because I found it very interesting. So why don't we go ahead and read this sucker? All right, so it says, Amazon MGM lands Jason Statham action thriller Levon's Trade with David Ayer directing and Sylvester Stallone script worldwide U.S. theatrical release lined up. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because David Ayer, he did the Beekeeper movie, and it seems to be doing well with Jason Statham, and now, but Sylvester Stallone wrote this script. I found that very interesting. Sylvester Stallone has found his own little niche in Hollywood after those Rocky movies, and I'm just like, good for you, Sylvester Stallone. Who knew you could write movies? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if they're like the best movies ever because I haven't seen this movie, and I'm trying to think of I think he wrote Creed 3. I don't remember which Creed he wrote, but I'm just good for him. Good for him. I'm really happy for all three of these people and I'll talk about David Ayer in just a second. So let's read this a little bit and then we'll discuss as we go along. So it says, in a lucrative pact, Amazon MGM Studios has landed U.S. theatrical rights to Levon's Trade, with Prime Video taking streaming rights in the slew of major international territories we can reveal. As we told you last year, the film, helmed by David Ayer, Suicide Squad, with star Jason Statham, and hail from producers Black Bear and Block Film. The screenplay was adapted by Sylvester Stallone, Creed, so he wrote Creed, okay, great, with revisions by Ayer and is based on the prolific comic author Chuck Dixon's first novel in the Levon series, which I have not read any of those books, but good for him. Always happy. So it says Amazon MGM has signed a deal for a wide theatrical release in the U.S. outside the Prime Video international territories. Black Bear Levon's Trade independently to theatrical. Okay. So it says, the movie will chart how Levon Cade, left his profession behind him to go straight and work in construction. He wants to live a simple life and be a good father to his daughter, but when his boss's teenage daughter vanishes, he's called upon to reemploy the skills that made him a legendary figure in the shadowy world of Black Ops. His hunt for the missing college student takes him deep into the heart of a sinister criminal conspiracy, creating a chain reaction that will threaten his new way of life. Dun dun dun. I'm not gonna lie, sounds interesting. I mean, it sounds like all those like other kind of movies that are like this, but at the same time, daddy's in, you know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. If there's fighting involved, like some kung fu stuff going on, I'm all in, you know what I'm saying? So it says the team is, of course, for a start filming in London this spring. This is the second project we've revealed in consecutive days that Amazon MGM is expected to give a wide theatrical platform after Chris Pratt movie Mercy. Following the bombshell column on Deadline from filmmaker Doug Liman, in which he criticized the studio for not releasing Roadhouse theatrical, and he was upset about that, and I get that he was upset that they didn't release Roadhouse theatrically, but what are you gonna do, dude? I mean, you got to sign in your contract, like either play or pay. You know what I'm saying? So it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. I'll watch that Roadhouse movie. So I mean, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Anyways. So it says Ayer and Chris Long will produce Levon's trade for Cedar Park Entertainment with Statham for Punch Place Production. Okay, everybody's got their own production company, I tell you right now. So it says Statham, Ayer, Long, and Block recently teamed up with Amazon MGM Studios, which is fascinating. They're all in on the Statham game, it seems like, on the action thriller The Beekeeper. The film has brought in more than $78 million at the worldwide box office, which is pretty good for that movie. It says who Statham is represented by, but yeah. So all in all, okay, so what do I think about this? I think it's good. I think it's good for everybody all around. I think that good for Jason Statham that he keeps getting this work. I mean, who knew that he'd become the new action star? You know, I mean, you kind of knew. He's always been like an action star and everything. And I've always enjoyed him on the screen, you know. Did you know he was like an Olympic diver before all this acting and stuff? Yeah, I mean, I found that out. And he had hair. He had hair. I was like, huh, it's so interesting. Go and look it up on YouTube. You can see him doing his little dives and everything. It's very fascinating. I mean, I'm not going to watch like 4 hours of it, but I'll watch a couple of his dives. And then, but good for him keep getting constant work, you know? I mean, I say, hey, if you're good at something, do it. And me personally, like, I don't understand actors, but me, if I got a gig, I'd ride that money train straight to the bank. You know what I'm saying? And then, so Sylvester Stallone, like I said before, who knew that this fucker could write scripts? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he adapted it, which, I mean, is probably a little bit easier than writing your own script. But at the same time, I go, look at you, Sylvester Stallone, staying in the game somehow. I was like, good for you. I like that. He's got that show, what's that show called that he's got? I think it's got a second season coming up where he's like an ex-criminal, but he's like a crime boss now. I'm not quite sure what it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I hear it's really good. I would like to see it, but I just don't have time. And then, you know, David Ayer, you know, maybe this will give him a chance to stop talking about the Ayer cut. I mean, don't get me wrong. I personally would like to see the Ayer cut. I always think that the director should get a chance to, you know, do their own version of the movie, but it's never going to happen. It's like Fetch. It's not going to happen, which I do feel bad for him, but at the same time, I just go, maybe it's time to move on, you know, and doing all these fun movies. I mean, you know, I'll probably watch this movie. I don't know if I'll go to the theater to see it, but I'll definitely watch it if it's on streaming, you know. Who's got time and money to go see a movie every weekend? But overall, I say good for all three of these guys. I mean, you know, I'm glad that they're able to, you know, carve out a niche and they're just able to keep going, you know, because that's what you got to do. And like I said before, ride that money train to the bank. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it may not be the best project, but at least it's a project. And if it makes a bunch of money, it gets people talking. So good for these guys. I'm excited for them and I hope they keep it going. And let's see how this turns out. But tell me, what do you guys think about this? Do you think this movie sounds interesting and exciting or whatever? Or do you think it just sounds like the old, you know, old nonsense that we keep getting or whatever as far as action films goes? How do you feel about Jason Statham and him carving out his own little action-packed niche in the industry? How do you feel about Sylvester Stallone, you know, writing scripts and everything? He's punching up scripts and everything. And then finally, how do you feel about David Ayer directing this kind of stuff? I mean, are you a fan of David Ayer and his movies? Do you want to see the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad and everything? Or do you think that's just that ship has sailed and everything and it's like, get over it and everything? But tell me what you guys think about this. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next video. You guys have a good day. Bye.